Just before this video gets started, I do want to mention that I have a Discord server. Join if you want to, suggest new video ideas, or just come hang out and chat with us. If you like what you see here today, you'll like pretty much everything else on my channel, so why not subscribe? Thanks. Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today we're going to be talking about somebody who I've been seeing on my For You page, my recommended page, both on YouTube and TikTok, and even a little bit on Twitter, and that being Clara Dao. She's a Canadian YouTuber who is all about body positivity and loving yourself the way you are, or so we thought. Now Clara, as you can see, is a big personality in the body positivity space, with that reach extending to TikTok as well, with 3 million followers on that platform. And when you think about how big her combined audience is, it stands to reason that a bunch of people look up to her, and it also stands to reason that some of those people are children who are growing or who are getting bullied and need a little bit of a spark in their life, whether that be from their parents or from a content creator that they really like, aka her. And that's essentially what she had going for her. She would make her body positivity content talking about either her slim figure or her flat chest and how to love yourself through that, what it's like being bullied or picked on or whatever. And you could just see the difference in the comment sections from both before she was immersed in this drama and after. Like from this video about the beauty standards in 2024, comments saying that she's so pretty, or people just sharing their personal stories trying to relate with her, or even from this other video, oh my god, you're so gorgeous, I love you, thank you for your content. Comparing that to some of her most recent posts, the comments obviously don't look the same, quoting her from her infamous video, I'm only eating when I'm hungry, I used to like you, go away. Who asked? Or even from this post, which some are calling her official response to the whole situation that went down, where she makes direct mention of what happened. Some comments say, you know, 99% of your audience are children and teens that need food to grow. This is actually such a sad response. Don't ruin this wonderful song. No one is on your side. Now, the sudden shift in her comment section, as well as how she's viewed online, pretty much all stem from this one video that she posted 5 months ago, titled The Surprising Habits That Keep Me Skinny, No Diet Needed. In this video, she surprisingly starts spouting some very destructive, I guess you would call it, rhetoric that is, according to her audience, pretty hypocritical to what her core message actually was, which once again was loving yourself for who you are. Now, if you couldn't tell, we're going to be talking about a certain dietary related disorder that may or may not get me demonetized, so we'll just call it ED. YouTube can be very finicky with what they want to censor and what they don't censor, as I'm sure you already know, so I'm just kind of looking out for myself on this one. Also, I'm not a fucking doctor, alright, so don't take any advice from me. Pretty much anything health related is probably going to come from personal experience. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way.
So the first habit is I don't eat when I'm not hungry, and I only eat when I'm like really hungry. I often don't remember to eat unless I really feel it in my stomach. I'm like, oh my god, I'm hungry. And then I realize that, oh, it's like 7 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything all day. That hunger, I just don't experience it. I think that is so common for everywhere actually, not just in North America, but in Asia as well, to have like regular mealtime, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and people just eat when it's mealtime, not necessarily because they are hungry. And I think that that has to change, because back in our hunter-gatherer day, which is like hundreds of thousands of years ago, we didn't have food lying around. We didn't have an abundance of food. We had to actually work really hard to find the food, and food it's like some day you can eat, other days you can go 1 or 2 days or even longer without food. That's how we have evolved. And trust me, I have read a lot about this. I have learned and educated myself a lot about health and fitness and nutrition, so I can speak about this with confidence that like this is healthy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there, Clara. I feel like most of the stuff that you say in this video wouldn't have been a problem or as much of a problem had you titled it better, because now when you say things like, my first habit is that I don't eat unless my stomach hurts, while you're saying this to your impressionable audience of kids, teens, and young adults who look up to you for body related advice, to me, it kind of came off that you didn't expect them to follow you, or that you were a bit tone deaf and you might have just not realized it, which I don't know how you couldn't, because you literally have been doing this for years at this point, so I'm not really going to put that past you. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of watched this first part like 4 or 5 times just because of this hunter-gatherer bit that she's getting at. Maybe I'm just a little bit dummy, I don't know, but it seemed to me that, like, you know, from what I could gather, she's trying to say that she, I guess, feels like the people that are eating lunch, dinner, and breakfast only because it's time to do so and not because they're hungry need to change their habits, because back in the hunter-gatherer days, they didn't take food for granted and they didn't have food lying around. That's literally the best thing I could come up with. I don't even understand what she's saying. I'm going to be real with you, comparing the eating disorder of somebody who's not a hunter-gatherer to hunter-gatherers is pretty wild in my opinion, simply because it's not that people who have eating disorders are taking food for granted. It might just be because that's what they feel like they need to do. Now, I've been told that I've had an eating disorder, not by any doctor or anything like that, but just by friends that have seen and, heard about my eating style or whatever, which by the way, I don't really eat breakfast. I don't normally eat lunch. I kind of sometimes do it. It's very sporadic, but mostly I just eat at nighttime, and it's usually just like a big dinner, somewhere around like 1,500 calories, and that's pretty much because of what I'm trying to do with my body. And that's another thing that I feel like Clara in this video neglects to take note of, because when she says that she's read all these books and educated herself on this stuff so that she can say this stuff confidently and that all this is true, she's trying to sell you on something, and that something isn't what professionals know. It's just basically what she's gathered from reading some books. And this is why I think some of what she says in this video would have went over a little bit better maybe had she titled the video something different, like habits I do that you shouldn't, and maybe on top of that actually telling you why you shouldn't actually do those habits. At least then she wouldn't be getting accused of influencing her audience in the bad way. But moreover to the point that I was talking about before, in that everybody obviously has different dietary needs, and as to whether or not you want to stick to the recommended calorie amount, it really depends on what you're trying to do with your body or what you see your body as, what goals you have, etc., etc. Me personally, I'm trying to lose fat for the summer, or I'm trying to cut, and in order to do that, I need to be in a caloric deficit, so I'm not going to snack as much, I'm not going to eat as much, or at least I'm not going to be eating in a caloric surplus as I would be doing when fall comes and then when winter comes. And obviously what I'm doing is different from somebody who's trying to become a mass monster. And I'd say all that stuff really just kind of stems from body dysmorphia, which, surprise, surprise, is connected to eating disorders. And I don't think I'd be really wrong in saying that it'd be really easy for people to develop an ED because of body dysmorphia. However, that's just kind of what I think about the first couple of points that she made. And as you could imagine, a lot of other people really didn't like this video. I mean, that is an insane like to dislike ratio. Some people in the comments are saying naturally skinny people don't starve themselves for 24 hours. It's not a fast. You're starving yourself. This is so disordered that it's upsetting. This video is for adults. No, this video is for nobody. The hypocrisy is crazy. I also did want to bring up this Reddit post that was talking about some hypocrisy between her saying that you should love yourself for who you are, basically what her core message was, and her actually getting Botox and lip fillers, jaw shavings, and all that stuff. Which, no, that's not what this video is entirely about, but that is a point of concern for sure. This video does seem like it's in bad taste, but for whatever reason, I don't really get the sense that she was trying to hurt somebody or hurt anybody from this video, as in she didn't really have any malicious intent behind it. However, at the same time, I do understand people's anger about it, especially her community, which you could imagine that some of them might also have eating disorders or struggle with body positivity, which is why they follow her in the first place. It's been a minute since we've talked about anything like body positivity and people using their platforms in wrong ways all in one video. But the last time we did that was for the Illumation and Think Before You Sleep drama. I don't know if some of you remember that, but I will echo something that I said in that original video. And it's that when you have a big audience like this, right, or an audience period, you got to be careful as to what you promote or what you say, even if you do have the best intentions behind it, because you may never know who's watching you. You know, most of your audience could be kids. Kids are, once again, very impressionable, and some YouTubers are idols to kids. So of course they're going to be listening to them, probably more so than their parents. It's also kind of sad to see all the reactions to this stuff on Twitter, with some people actually going really deep into like their personal stories. But at the same time, some of these replies are pretty funny. Been waiting for people to talk about this girl. God bless. I'm sorry, Clara Dao pisses me the F off. If this woman has no haters, it means that I'm dead. It just kind of goes to show you that eating disorders and stuff like that are much more of a common thing than you might think. And not to mention the fact that the body positivity people shouldn't really be ones to be messed with. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button. If you want more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Sub up, stay safe, and peace.